let's go. And if someone wasn't able to get on, hopefully they'll be on soon, shortly. So this week is lesson 1, and lesson 1 is all about having a vision. So I want to ask you guys, just a couple volunteers, what does a vision mean to you? When we hear creating a vision, casting a vision for your team, does someone want to step up and unmute themselves and just talk to me about what a vision means?
Angela, I'll go. This is Paula.
Please. Yeah, go for it.
I think having a vision means seeing down the road what success looks like and what the destination looks like, so that you can paint that picture to others on your team that inspires them to take the journey to get to that point.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Paula. I absolutely love that, because guys, seeing a vision is seeing a state of what's to come, right? It's being able to create. It's like an artist. You give an artist a paintbrush, and whatever is in his mind, on his heart, whatever life experience he's been through or hasn't been through, that's going to be created on that canvas. So when you cast a vision for someone, you're basically, from your imagination, creating a picture of what's possible. And Paula gave a great example. So why do we need a vision? Does anyone want to take a guess why it's important to have a vision? Because you can just wake up and go to work and not have any vision at all. Why do you guys think it's so important to have a strong, strong vision?
Because if you don't have a vision, you're like a boat without a rudder. You don't know where you're going. You don't have a destination, so you just float there, meandering in the ocean.
Yeah, who's speaking? What box is that? I like that.
It's Eddie Hanshu.
Yeah, absolutely. Eddie, that was absolutely perfect. So having a vision shows us where we are headed, exactly what Eddie said. It shows us where we're headed as an individual. It shows us where we're going as a leader. And it encourages people to follow us because we have a destination, right? People don't want to follow someone. They're not going to enroll in your vision if you don't have a clear-cut picture as to where you're going. Doesn't mean you have to be there yet, but you've got to know in your heart where you're headed, right? So it shows people where they're going. As a company, it shows all of us where our company is going together. How many of us know the Isogenics vision? By a show of hands. Anybody want to unmute and tell us what the Isogenics vision is?
I will. It's Wendy.
Yeah, go for it.
The vision is to free people oh my gosh, stage fright. To free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process create the largest health and wellness company in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let that sit for a minute. When you guys hear that, how many of you feel something emotional to that vision? By a show of hands. How proud are you to be a part of that vision? Yeah. So as a company, we know what we're working towards together, and we see and we feel a bright future. And you know what? Having a vision means that you often have to stop and evaluate. I mean, how often does our corporate staff stop to evaluate if we're going in that right direction, if we're headed towards our vision? I mean, if we had 6 months of downtime, they got to stop and evaluate and say, are we working towards our vision as a whole, as a community, or are we working against it? So stopping to see if you're on track is an important part of having that vision. It's not like, you know what, I'm going to climb to the top of the Empire State Building, and then I just sit there and sit there and sit there. I mean, at some point, I have to evaluate if I've gotten off my hiney and even gotten on the subway and got to Manhattan. You know, having a vision is one thing, but really working towards it is another. So The vision motivates us and inspires us to keep going. A vision has to be strong enough to carry us through to the end. A vision keeps us moving through obstacles because there are going to be setbacks big and there is going to be setbacks small. But your vision is what helps you persevere. How many of us have had obstacles? Yeah, I'd like to think more of us have had obstacles than had a smooth road all the way to the top. Would somebody be authentic and share maybe one obstacle that you've gone through since you've been with Isogenics?
I'll go.
Please.
We had a baby, micro preemie, born at 24 weeks.
Yeah, that's a big hit, man. You had a baby born at 24 weeks old. And that threw you for a whole loop. You weren't pushing business. You were praying for this baby's life. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Mike. Tell me, how did it affect you? Mentally, psychologically, emotionally?
I mean, it put a strain on everybody. You know, we were still trying to do a business at the same time. It didn't really work very well. We still tried though. You know, we did as best as we could.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing, is that your business will be there even when life throws a curveball at you, even when obstacles come your way. And that's the beauty of this business, is that you can stop and be with your family. You know, we're not we are superheroes, but we're not superhumans, I should say. You know, sometimes my kid needs me and I need to take a step back and say, whoa, my head is not in this because I need to be present there. Right? But it doesn't take my vision away. My vision is still here, right? And I'm going to take time and I'm going to tend to my family and I'm going to make sure that my husband is in a great place and he's secure. And I'm going to make sure that my friends and family feel loved. But all this time, my vision is still here. It holds me and keeps bringing me back, right? How many of you guys have taken your foot off the pedal because of some catastrophic thing that's happened, like with Mike and Vicky? Yeah, can we get another share? I can't pronounce your name. I want to call you Felisa, like Melissa.
Think of Melissa. Put an F on it. Think of Melissa.
Like Melissa, but Felisa.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Just 3 years ago, my daughter has always had anxiety, but the beginning of 3rd grade, she had such severe anxiety, panic attack that literally she couldn't get into school until almost October, where, sorry, it's awful because my husband travels for work. So he had to put a hold on that. And I was sitting in classroom with her and we were, you know, it was the hardest time of our life. And I always say it doesn't compare to maybe somebody else's hell, but at that point it was our hell. And literally I remember putting myself in a black hole, and that's what we do sometimes, and close everything else off. And it was awful. I mean, so she couldn't get to school and sometimes out of the house, and just our life kind of was put on hold.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. You know, what I tell you guys is this: we're all human. No one here is perfect. We've all got so much going on in our lives. But when you have a strong enough vision, you will hurry back on that course. You will come back no matter what. You can take a break. You can take your foot off the pedal. But I really love Michael Klaus's quote. And he said, you know, we've all got that white towel. Either you're going to use it to wipe the sweat and stay in the game and get back in the game, or you're going to throw that towel in. And I know none of us are quitters. I know we don't want to quit. I know we want to stand in pride and integrity and really set out what we plan to do with this. So a vision provides focus on what's important and what's necessary. It'll eliminate the bullshit and the mundane, you know, and really focus on the 20% that brings us results, the 20% of income producing activity. That's the important stuff. You know, when I can be busy doing nonsense all day long. How many of us can find a million distractions? Yeah. Oh, no, don't call me right now. I'm organizing my sock drawer. This is not a good time. I mean, we can all be busy with nonsense, but we know what that 20% of income producing activity is needed. And what our income producing activity is how many lives are you going to change? How many people are you going to impact? That's what's going to produce an income. Not thinking about it, not reading about it, not feeling sorry for yourself, not letting a crisis overwhelm you, handling it and getting back in the game. So having a vision is having a conviction that a dream can truly be achieved. And when yours is strong enough, it's powerful enough and energy filled to inspire others to really partake in that vision. And that's why we all have teams. That's why we're trying to recruit teams, because we want to empower and enroll people into our vision, right? This is not a place where you stand by yourself at the podium. When we see all those millionaires on stage, it's a platform full of them. How many of us wish that our team would be up there with us? You don't want to be there alone. You want to be up there with 10 of your homies. You want everyone to get up to the top. And that's what's important. So what I read online about vision is that employees who find their company's vision meaningful have a 68% higher engagement level. And I know when we think about the Isogenics vision, we feel an emotional attachment. And that's why it's so important for us to either create or borrow a vision for us, for ourselves. We all have to hold on to it. Because if you're not strong in yours, how the heck are you going to paint a picture for somebody else? If I'm going to follow you, if I'm going to enroll with you, if I want to emulate what you're doing, you better have a strong vision that's going to convince me that I'm going to be in the right hands with you, right? Why is someone going to stick with you as opposed to going with someone else? Because it's your conviction, it's your heart, it's your vision, it's your attitude, it's the way that you carry yourself like a champ. So, does having a vision inspire others? Yeah? How many of you guys would agree? Yeah. Do you all feel like you have a strong vision, or do you feel like it's something you need to work on? If you feel like you need to work on it, let's raise some hands. Okay, awesome. Thank you for being honest. So people who are successful, they don't talk about living this way. They live in this way. They do it each and every day. Having a vision is putting yourself at issue, taking risks, taking chances, taking a chance that it's going to be invalidated, that you're going to be crushed, that you're going to be wronged, that you're going to be made fun of. But guess what? That's what being a pioneer is. You know, when Martin Luther King stood up for something, you don't think people laughed at him and said, this dude is crazy to end racism when segregation was rampant everywhere else? But that's what makes you a visionary, right? Gandhi was a visionary. People thought he was crazy. Think about all the people, the pioneers who started this way. They're visionaries, and that's what you are. And when you take a chance at coming forward and sharing something new with people, guess what? They're going to be scared. They're going to call you names. They're going to get guarded. They're going to get defensive. But it has nothing to do with you. You're not in the wrong. They've never heard of this. They haven't been a part of it. They don't see what you see. So freedom of living out or towards your vision is being able to express yourself fully without shame and without fear each and every day. I'm putting myself at risk for other people so I can open the door for them to be brave. So I can show other mothers that there is a better way. So I can show other leaders that you don't have to stay stuck if you don't want to be stuck. You can rise past 2-star. You can rise past 4-star. You don't have to go back to a job that you don't want if you're choosing not to. Somebody asked me tonight, can I hit 3-star? Absolutely. Why couldn't you? We're the only thing standing in our own way. You guys have to get that. Thinking about it is one thing. Getting on the court and doing it is another. And look at this. There's 206 of us on the call supporting the heck out of each other. I don't care if people laugh at you. You can call me up and we'll make fun of them together. You know, we've got to have each other's back, you know? And so tonight I'm going to give you guys a great example of leadership. You know, somebody didn't make the cut for whatever reason. She didn't get on the Blitz team. And there was another leader who stepped up and said, you come with me, you know? And when this leader had the courage to say, you know what, you come on my team. You'll be a silent partner. You can jump on every call with us. You don't have to submit points to the team, but you can submit them to me to stay accountable. What that leader's action did, it inspired me. And I did good. And hopefully the good that I did tonight will pay it forward, and then they'll do some good. You know, we act like we're so small, right? We act like we're so small and we don't make a difference. But we do. You know, you have to think that everything that you do has an effect. You know, my stepdad, before he died, he said, your word is the only thing that you have. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Right? So every interaction that you have with someone, it's either going to leave a bad taste in their mouth, or it's going to leave something positive, you know, that will hopefully have a positive impact on someone else and someone else. You know, maybe on this call, I pray that I can make a difference to somebody, and that you will pick up the phone and in turn enhance someone's life, and they will in turn enhance someone's life. And I'm not just talking about signing up with Isogenics. I'm talking about being a leader, a pioneer. I'm talking about being and doing good in this world, right? How many of us are here to make a change, make a difference? Yeah? How many of us are here only for the money? That's what I mean, guys. That's why we've got to do the right thing and not be afraid. Pioneers takes a lot of courage. Takes a lot of courage to be and do what you all are. So freedom of living out or towards your vision is being able to express yourself, putting yourself at risk each and every day. I would ask you all to think about tonight, what is stopping you from living out your very best life? I want you all to take out a piece of paper right now, and I want you all to write down 3 bullshit stories that you keep telling yourself each and every day. 1 sentence. It could be anything. I'm too fat. I'm too scared. I'm too shy. I don't have enough courage. I don't know too many people. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. Okay? And when you've done that, your 3 BS stories that you keep telling yourself, the blocks that sit right here, I don't have enough time, my husband doesn't support me. We all know a million excuses, yeah? We've all got the excuses, okay? And when you write it down, I want you to take that piece of paper. Everyone has their paper? Yeah, and I want you to do this with it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. No more. No more stories. No more bullshit. No more excuses. Make it rain. That's it. Bye-bye. All this stuff that's holding you back is here. It's nonsense. What you think about yourself, nobody else thinks about you. Believe me. Believe me. Get that out of your verbiage. Get that out of your head. Get that absolutely out of your mind. So I think I'm running short on time. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you don't contribute to people, you're not going to make a difference. If you wait for your life to be absolutely perfect, it'll never happen. You don't inspire people out of perfection. You inspire people to change out of authenticity. Do you get that? If you're waiting until you hit your 6-pack abs and your perfect time, there's no such thing as a perfect time. You get to inspire people while you're going through your journey. At the end of the journey, they don't care. You're already skinny, rich, and it's unrelatable. You know what I mean? People love people who are vulnerable, who are struggling, because guess what? We're all struggling. We're all facing demons. We're all messed up. That's when you're relatable. We've had so much pressure on ourselves to look a certain way, be a certain way, talk a certain way. I did not sign up one person because I was perfect. Every single person I signed up, it's because I got real with them. I told them where I screwed up. I told them how I was going to improve, how I was in the process of improving, and how I got their back. And that's what people want to know. Are you going to have my back? Day in and day out, are you going to have my back? Nobody asked you to come here because you were a scientist. You're here because you care for people, right? You're here because you want to make a difference in this world. And that's what having a vision is really all about. So what I ask you guys is, how long are you going to live? You know, where you're just comfortable. You're comfortable with life, and you're comfortable with your body, and you're comfortable with being okay. You've got to get to a point where you're not okay. You've got to get to a point where you truly decide that you're worth it, and you decide better. So I want you to take a fresh piece of paper. Sorry if I made you use your only page and rip it up into pieces. But I want you all to write down 3 things that you're going to do to make a difference for people. How are you going to stand for people? How are you going to make an impact in your family, amongst your team? How are you going to make an impact for humanity? How are you going to make an impact for people who are suffering every day? You know, all this time that I was so busy with my business, I've been neglecting my daughter's needs. And my commitment is to my daughter. My commitment is to better schedule my business calls. And when my daughter says, Mom, come look at my picture, I'm not going to shoo her out of my office and shut her up because I'm on a call. And I think being good and making a difference is realizing where you're strong and where you're not. And being open to change, right? It's not easy being a superhuman. We've got to admit our faults. We've got to see where we can improve. I won't say where we're wrong, but I will say where we can do better. And I want you also to think about or write down 3 things that you're going to be unshakable about. I mean, unshakable about. For me, I'm going to talk to 3 people a day, every single day during this Blitz time. I'm going to make my kids and my family a priority and balance this Blitz work time with my family. And I'm going to start being a better leader to my team and seeing how I can have their back. Because sometimes you get so caught up in the enrolling in the ISOBODY and the points and the keeping your numbers up, especially being a red control freak, that you really forget about other people. And honestly, that's what this is about. If you don't have their back, if you're not lifting them up, your position and your stars don't mean shit. Honestly, you don't want to be the only one winning these trips. You don't want to be the only one standing on that stage with that big stupid check because alone it doesn't mean anything. You really want to reach down and start supporting your team and start seeing who you can lift, how you can have their back, and how you can support them in a greater way. So those are really my unshakable things, my standards, me living above the line. So let's get to the assignment. I'm going to ask you guys to really work on a vision statement this week. That's going to be your team meeting this week. When you schedule a time with your private Blitz meetings, I want you guys to really get down and see what's going to make it work. Talk about where you feel strong. Talk about how you can impact. And I want you guys to work together as a team to help one another come up with a vision. We need a strong, unshakable vision. And you know what? If you don't have one yet, borrow someone's. And you know what? My vision didn't start out what it did when I signed up my mom and my husband. My vision was like, I'm going to get $100 every week and help people lose weight. I wasn't confident to say I'm going to create more 6 and 7 figure income. Or, you know, your vision changes. Your vision grows as you grow. And I think that's what's important for you guys to know. The vision you have today and the person that you are today is not who you're going to be tomorrow. It's not. And if you are stuck in the same place for 4 years, go do Tony Robbins. Go do a growth seminar, because every day, you know, every day we're growing, you know, every day we're getting closer. I hate to sound morbid, but every day is one step closer to death. So we've got to do something magnificent. We've got to do something spectacular, and we have to really inspire one another to embrace the change. So I have decided to be absolutely unshakable. I don't need a specific reason to help people to create a magnificent life.
It's 10 o'clock.
Who said that? Oh, that scared me. Did my husband set up a creepy alarm to get me off the computer? So doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is not going to make a difference. Everyone whose life you touch, your team, your work, your family, it's going to affect them. Stand for somebody, you know, be willing to put yourself at risk and really stand up for someone, for something, for this cause. Breathe life into people. Give them a possibility that they're worth it, and you're not going to give up on them. You know, I follow up with people not because I need a $25 commission. I follow up with people because, good Lord, I know how desperately they need a change. And I'm not going to give up on people. And I let them know that. Comfort is overrated. Aliveness can be fun and fulfilling. And freedom in our lives is everything. It is absolutely priceless. We've got to be responsible to show up first. Don't tell me you can't make consultants, your people suck, your team sucks, your upline sucks. You've got to stop and take a look at why you're sucking. You know, that's the bottom line. We've got to look at ourselves and see what we can do to improve this. 100%. If my team has all similar complaints, I got to look within me and see what the hell I'm not doing for them. How can I better serve them so they don't all feel this way? And that's what it's about. It's about having skin in the game. It's easy to put one toe in and never really sacrifice yourself. It's easy to say, I'm kind of sort of in it, but not really. It takes a lot of courage to say, you know what, guys? I'm all in. I am 100% committed to my Blitz team. I will be on time every week. I am with you for 12 weeks, come hell or high water. You know, and that's having skin in the game. It's really helping our team succeed. When your Blitz team succeeds, you're a success, right? I don't care how many points you bring in individually. It's your team. You want to help them grow and come out of it. So, you know, what I encourage you guys is really to look at the positive. You know, I don't want to look back and think what my life was like and what if I never knew about this? What if I never had this opportunity? Where would I be if I never had this possibility? Because where I was 4.5 years ago, it was not in a great place. So, you know, don't worry about looking good. Just get in the game and work towards it each and every day. Living a powerful life is absolutely measured by your results. And that's what we have to do. We've got to keep putting results in the game every single day. So, you know, I just want you guys to know how absolutely incredibly proud I am of you. For some of you, it's your first Blitz, and you're like, what the hell did I get myself into? She curses like a truck driver. And you know what? I commend you for having the courage. And for others, this is your third Blitz, your 15th Blitz. And the fact that you're still here says a lot about you. And I'm just so incredibly proud of each of you for getting on. Work on that vision. Really talk about it together. Talk about your goals. Talk about your dreams. Don't worry about looking good in front of your team. We're all going through it. Looking good is so overrated. I mean, honestly. So work on your vision statement. Start working on a vision board. I'm going to put up the agreement form I want you guys to really talk with your teams first before you fill out that 90-day agreement form. And start reading chapter 1 of the John Maxwell book if you received it. If you did not receive it, it's don't have a panic attack. It's at your own leisure. You're here, you're learning, you're growing. Make the most out of this amazing, amazing experience. So thank you guys for allowing me to share. Does anyone have any questions, any takeaways, anything that they would like to share with the team to add value? There's no looking stupid here, I promise.
Hey, Ange, it's Tasha. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but I don't see you.
Hi. I just wanted to tell you that I met you at Celebration finally, and it really changed a lot of stuff for me. And I wanted to tell you I get it. I get the passion. I get the drive. I don't think I would have gotten it had I not gone to the actual event, because you can talk about it all day, but when you go there and you feel that energy and you're with leaders that are genuine and that are really trying to help you, like literally holding their hands down so they can help lift you up over the wall, it was just, I get it. I get the passion that you have. I get the drive that you have. And I just wanted to let you know. And I didn't really want to tell you privately because I wanted other people to hear that from me to you.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I wish that becoming a leader would come with an instructional pamphlet, but it doesn't, and you kind of wing it. And you know what? All we can ask one another is to be authentic. When you screw up, apologize as quickly as possible. When you make a poor decision, apologize, ask for forgiveness, you know, and always think of the team first. You know, that's what it's about. But I really, really appreciate that. It's a learning process for all of us, and good Lord, am I still learning? So thank you, Tasha, and I'm so proud of you for getting to your first celebration. Anyone else? Any feedback? Yeah, say your name.
Monique.
Hey, Monique, welcome.
Hi. I just wanted to say, when you said be real and authentic and kind of like show that you are struggling too, it's a good reminder, because I think it's only been 4 months that I've been with this company, but I get so caught up in sharing just like the really great things and like, my life is so wonderful now, that I forget that people need to see that I'm struggling with certain things in my life, and my kids may always seem happy, but today my kid just threw his dinner onto the floor. Like, I have to remember to show that too, and not just do the whole like, I'm on cloud 9, you can't get there kind of thing.
100%. And I have to tell you, the more you grow, the larger the team, the more money you make. Guess what? There's going to be more problems, you know, different kinds of problems. What I tell you is that every day, you know, what we learned from Tony Robbins is that just wake up with a grateful heart. Just be thankful you're a mom, that your son's healthy. I don't know if you said son or daughter. Did you say my son? My son.
Sorry, yes, my son.
Okay. Just, you know, there's so many things to be grateful for, that when I think like, oh my God, this is the worst, and you know, like you let the story and the drama get in the way, sometimes you just go for a run. Sometimes you just have to stop and meditate for 5 minutes and say, okay, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful that my boy is healthy. I'm thankful my husband loves me. I'm thankful we have a roof over our head. And all that other stuff, it just seems like stuff, you know? And if in 30 years from today, it's not going to make a difference, let it go quickly and easily. You know, people don't relate to perfection. People relate to people who are real and honest. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that, because being a mom is like, that's a whole other job title. And balancing, you know what? Balancing motherhood and trying to grow your business and keep your spouse happy. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I will tell you, it's absolutely worth it. Thank you for your share, Monique. Anyone else?
Yeah, Angela, hi, this is Paula. I just want to say thank you because we learned so much through the Blitz assignments and all the great topics. But one of the things that we learn above all of that is how to be a leader with heart and passion. And that we see from you. And you model that, and your heart is so big. And we're so grateful for the way that you are so generous with your leadership and your time. So I think I probably speak on behalf of everyone on this call when I say thank you.
Thank you. And what was your takeaway tonight? What are you going to bring back to your team? What do you think was valuable for you that you can really put into play?
When you said, what can you be unshakable about? That was something that I thought, well, I have goals and I have my lists of things, but I never thought about it in that light. You know, what are my non-negotiables? What am I going to be unshakable about? And so that caused me to rethink and really kind of reprioritize. And I love having that perspective.
Awesome.
We're so confident in what we've learned with the past couple of blitzes that we brought in an all rookie Blitz team. So that we're Kathleen. So we're excited. Yeah, there's several of them on board. A couple of them just had things that they could not escape from, but we're really excited for them to experience this. And this is like a whole nother level, and it's really exciting for us to be here and to coach them along. So that'd be kind of cool.
Thank you so much. And I have to tell you, it's really nice to see that other leaders are opening up their teams and their calls. Susan Sly has always done a one team kind of call, and now they've got this like 10-week ISA Warrior thing tomorrow night. You know, we've got to really have each other's back if the company is going to do well, if we're going to do well, if we're going to get each other over the humps. Because most of the people don't get stuck with the regular how-to. Where do I place them, on the left or the right? People get stuck with the other stuff. I can't get organized. I don't know what to do. I have an hour. My kids are on my back. I don't know what to say when you're not with me. What do I pick up the phone? How do I start a conversation? So we really, really want you guys to get over the stuff, and just feel confident and comfortable enough that we've got your back. You know, we want to send you out of here with some courage and strength and to build whatever you want, guys. You might be just, I don't want to say Jess, I shouldn't say that, but you might be comfortable, you know, having 5 cycles a week. Some of you guys are overachievers and want 305 cycles a week. Wherever you see yourself, wherever you want to be, we've got your back. And that's how I want you all to feel walking out of this Blitz. And I think that's the general consensus with Drew, with Lisa, with Ed, with all the leaders, all the coaches that are here. You know, we're going to get each other through it. So before we go, let's any more takeaways, anything that you're excited about, anything that stuck out for you that you want to implement?
I have one.
Yeah. Take it away, Lisa D.
Time for Nisha. Hey, so I really loved the unshakable part too. And I know that we hear things over and over and over again. And we just talked about this in our last call, that sometimes you just don't get the message until somebody says it in a different way. Or it just is delivered a different way. So we hear the 3x3 all the time. But how many people have actually stuck to that every single day? Right? So I actually put that down as my unshakable. We ask people to give us 30 days on a cleansing program, but how many of us have held ourselves accountable to 30 days of 3x3s? That's becoming something that I'm going to be unshakable about. I mean, it's in the planner. It's super easy to keep track of, and 3 is not that hard. And so if that's an unshakable piece, that you can give yourself a 30-day challenge with, just check it off every day that you did it. I think that will be a huge, huge growth in the business.
Yeah, 100%. And I have to tell you, in the beginning, it feels a little funny. In the beginning, it feels a little weird. Guess what? My kids didn't want to brush their teeth every day. You've got to enforce it. You've got to enforce it. And by the time they're 12 years old, they're in the bathroom brushing their teeth every morning. And it's the same thing. You've got to make these things that are uncomfortable or strange or just lack of experience, you've got to tackle them until it becomes like breathing. I mean, how many of you guys don't go a day without going to the gym? We have some of these crazy people here that actually enjoy the gym. Not me. But yeah, so for some of you guys, a gym is a must. It's a non-negotiable. That's how it has to be with spreading change in the world. I can't tell you how many professionals I've met at Tony Robbins and how many professionals I've met at Landmark Forum. They're all desperately looking for an opportunity. They all want to be life coaches. They all want to be health coaches, and they don't have the opportunity that we have. They don't have a product that we have. They don't have team leaders like Jim and Kathy. They don't have a compensation plan that we have. I mean, we're here. You get to be a life coach. You get to be a health coach. You don't need to go to IIN and graduate to be able to cheer someone on to a 30-day program. And guess what? You didn't have to pay for an education. We've got the tools. You don't need a certification to be able to love the hell out of somebody and support them on their journey. And everybody that I meet, I'm like, oh my God, they're struggling. They haven't found their calling. They're saving up thousands and hundreds of dollars to open up a franchise. And I'm like, yeah, just get a brown box. It's your franchise. It's your UP, it's your FedEx franchise. It'll be at your door in 3 days. What we have can absolutely not be taken for granted. I mean, you've got to value it like, whoa, you've got a business in a box. People, 14,000 people at Tony Robbins, desperately looking for health, wellness, detox, and an opportunity. Can you imagine? And we've got everything right here. And we foolishly don't share it because, what will my neighbors think of me? You know what? When you're standing on that stage taking selfies, they're going to think you're a freaking superstar. That's what they're going to think. You got to pave the way. You can't be worried about what anybody else thinks. You have to be willing to put yourself front and center. I don't know how many of you guys were there at that celebration when Eric Coover wore a t-shirt with a bullet, a bullseye on his back. Do you guys remember that moment? And that was
Target.
With a target on his back. Thank you. I forgot what it was called. But the purpose of that demonstration was, guys, we're growing. We're at the top. We're on all the direct selling list. We're on this. We're on that. We are going to be a target. People are going to try to take you down. They're going to try to knock you out, but you can't fall into it. If I told you that, I mean, oh my God, people still laugh at me. People are like, ugh. My dad thinks I still sell Tupperware. My mom has no idea what I do. She's worried that the company, what if Isagenix closes? Who's going to pay your mortgage? I'm like, it's not going to be you. Don't worry, Mom. But people don't understand, right? But they don't have to. I'm not going to give up loving on them. I'm not going to give up on my mom. I keep her auto ship on every month for 4 years. She has no freaking idea what 850,000 BV is. But you know what? One day when she's going to retire, she's going to thank me for that BV. And I'm not going to give up on her. And don't give up on the people that you love. They don't have to get it today, right? That's what's important. I know we're all eager to go running out of the gates. Just enroll people in your vision. Enroll people in the beautiful person that you've become since joining Isagenix. I mean, is it just a weight transformation, or do you think it's everything? I have changed so much. People are like, you're not a bitch anymore. And I'm like, I know. I don't know if it's the ionics, but I've gotten more love for people. I've gotten more patient. I've gotten more understanding. And all that came with a brown box. I mean, how many of us have heard the expression? It's like she swallowed a bag of swallowed Skittles and pooped out rainbows, right? Have we heard that? Yeah, it's the detox, it's the culture, it's Jim and Kathy, it's partnering with the Dunskys, with Laura. It's all of it. I'm surrounded by good people in my life. It wasn't easy to take the bad ones out. I've known the bad ones for 30 plus years. Those guys, they were not willing to change, and they weren't embracing me or accepting me because I was changing. And you know what? A good friend is going to accept you. And a good friend is going to embrace you. And you know what? If they don't, we've got each other's backs. Right? So any other questions, comments, feedback? Excited? I'm excited.
Angela, real quick, I want to thank you so much for the Blitz. This is the second time I'm going through it, and it's just absolutely amazing. But I just wanted to clarify the assignment for this week is working on our vision, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
An unshakable belief.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So work
Okay.
on your vision statement with your team. Start taking pictures. I'm not going to require you to do a whole vision board. I don't want to overwhelm you. I want to keep the Blitz light. But you know what? Start putting sticky notes of things on your computer that are going to inspire you. I have something hanging on my wall, and it says, double my highest week. Be proud of my activity or ashamed of my inactivity. And I look at that every day, and it kind of puts me to work. So find inspirational quotes and pictures, but I'll post the assignment. I'll post the 90-day thing, the 90-day commitment form. Don't be in a hurry to get it up there tonight. Really work with your teams. Talk about what this means to you. Take your time. It's not due until next Sunday. So you've got a week to really think about what this means in your life, in your business, for your health goals. Don't just write it down just to get an assignment in on time. It's not that kind of Blitz. It's a thoughtful, from the heart, and really it's for you. It's not for me. Okay, thank you for asking that. What's your name?
It's Anna.
Anna, thank you so much for stepping forward.
Thank you.
Angela, I have a quick question.
Yeah, please.
So with the vision, like almost if you have like 4 or 5 people or 8 people on your team, everybody's vision's a little different. But you're telling us to kind of combine it so that we can.
Nope, I'm saying work through it together.
Work through it. So it'd be your own individual one, but work through it together to give each other perspective. Got it.
Exactly. What's your name?
Okay. Roberta.
Roberta, thank you for asking that, because if you're thinking it, I'm sure everyone else is thinking it. It's your vision. You're just, putting it out there with your team. You're working it out. You're talking through it. Maybe your team will come up with a catchy word or something like that. I just told Donna, I don't even know what the heck I said, but it rhymed, and it was like, what did I say? Lisa, do you remember? I said, if you don't get offended, it's always open-ended, right? I don't even know where that came from, but I like it, and I've been using it every day now since that call. Talking it out with your team will help you get more clarity for yourself. Sometimes people have to call you out on your BS and say, okay, really, now, is that your vision, like to drive a Lamborghini? I mean, come on. Like sometimes we just need to walk through it and talk through it and become a little bit more clear about the things that we genuinely want for ourselves. We worry a lot about looking good. We worry a lot about pleasing others. It's your vision, and it's going to enroll others in the possibility that something incredible will happen for them.
And Ange, hey, it's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
I wanted to say, going back to what Roberta said, it's important to vision cast for your team, especially if you're a leader, because that's my vision. My vision is to be a better vision caster, because what's important to me may not be important to, somebody that I'm working with. So we'll get into that a little more when I speak about asking questions, but ask a lot of questions. And one of my favorite questions is, if you had all the health in the world, you were at your optimum shape inside and out, and Monday you woke up in the morning and time and money were no obstacle, what would you be doing? And I like to get into that mindset, because some people don't know how to dream, much less dream bigger. And this has changed my life so much and has brought us so much freedom that I think it's important to vision cast so that people start to see, what's important to them, and that, they can make it happen with this.
Absolutely. I think that's so valuable. And we're going to do next week, casting a vision for the team. But Laura's right. If you don't start asking questions, asking your team, what do you do for work? What have you always dreamed of? What have you wanted to do that's been holding you back? I got to tell you, when people work a job for 20 years and they punch that same clock and it's the same routine for so many years, you really stop dreaming on what could have been, what should have been. You kind of give up on your hopes. You kind of give up on all the things that you wish for as a little girl. I mean, as a little girl, how many of us wanted to be dancers or singers, or we had so many dreams, and then somebody came and poo-pooed everything. Lavish, I could see you in a pink tutu. I knew you always wanted to be a ballerina. But here's the thing. This is your opportunity to dream again. And I have to tell you that if you're a role model to somebody, you better start learning how to dream again. Because if they see you stuck in this state, what's going to give them permission to live out loud, right? Open your heart for somebody else. Step forward. Take that stand. It's so important. I don't want to tell my girls that I've given up on life and this is as good as it gets and my body will never change and I'll be stuck here and stuck. No, I want to encourage my kids. They want to walk out in cowgirl hats and green shirts and yellow leggings. I'm going to tell them that that they look amazing. I don't want to break my kids and say, you look like a fool. I don't want to hurt my kids and say, you know what, that's not acceptable. Who the hell says? Who says what's okay and what's not? You encourage your kids to dream and be everything that they can be. Well, now we've got to encourage each other to do the same, right? Whatever roadblocks we have, we've got to get past it. We've got to get past it, especially if you have little eyes that are always watching you to be a good example for them. It's so important, whether you're an aunt, a mom, a niece, a grandma, a big sister, you've got to be the one that defies the odds for the rest of them. So last takeaway before that voice is going to come on and say 10:30. That was so creepy. I bet my husband had something to do with that. Anyone else? Any last thoughts or takeaways?
Yeah, I'll share real quick. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Who is
Hi.
it?
My name is Bianca.
Hi, Bianca. Welcome.
Hi. I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. It's my first Blitz, and what I'm taking away from this call right now is basically the unshakable, belief in that I have to stop with the distractions. Like, I need to set my hours and sit and just work and not get involved in anything else, or if the phone rings or this or that, just really stay focused. But last week, I wanted to make a comment on the call. I don't know who it was, but they were sharing their story about their experience with the Blitz. And she said, if this scares you and you're afraid of this, then you have to do it. And I practically dropped the phone like, shit, that's me. I'm so afraid. And I'm not really sure why I'm afraid, because I'm good at what I do when I actually do it. And if I could run my business the way that I run myself to the gym, because I am that gym junkie that is very dedicated to it. I'm there every day. I just need to take that over to my business. So I'm scared. And from Wednesday to now, I enrolled the most people that I enrolled in probably like the last month. I enrolled 4 people today and helped another associate enroll her boyfriend. So it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's just that I need that kick in my ass to do it. And just looking at all the people here on the screen and like just feeling the energy, I'm so effing pumped right now. I just wanted to share with everyone, like, I'm back. I'm coming in strong.
Yeah, awesome. Listen, your first Blitz, our first call, and you're stepping up. I got people that have been with me 15 years, 15 Blitzes, not 15 years, who haven't raised their hand and spoken up. So you got a lot to be proud of.
You're going to hear from me a lot because I like to talk, Angela. So thanks so much for this.
Good. You're going to inspire a lot of other people. And what I can tell you is this. The distractions is just a story. It's just a lame excuse that you're using. You've got to face the fears. You've got to own it. You're good at it. You've got to determine where you want to be, 1-star, 2-star, set a goal, mark a date on your calendar, and decide. Come hell or high water at NYKO, you're showing up there as a 2-star executive. That's it. That's it. You know, you're not going to get a gym membership and not show up. You've got a box sitting there. Show up for your business. Show up for your people. Stand for the people in your life that you love and believe in.
Thank you. You're right.
You're amazing. So proud.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you everyone for being on the call. Assignments will be posted shortly. You are all rock stars. Walk away. Hold on to that feeling. Hold on to it. Don't let it go. Pump the music. Put yourself in a state. Call a friend. Set some goals with your team. Hold yourself accountable. This is your 12 weeks. It's going to be exactly what you make it. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Tell me something good. Good night, everyone.
Night.